Volkswagen Challenge is proudly brought to you by Comsol and their associate sponsors. The Comsol Volkswagen Challenge is made up of 3 categories. They kicked things off this season at Midval a couple of weeks ago, and in the front end, Class A, very competitive. 2-litre 16 valves, very similar spec to the National Championship, and some big throttle bodies on these cars. But of course, there's some exciting racing. There's 9 cars involved in Class A. Then in Class B, we got a 2-litre 8 valve. Very, very modified car, slightly different to what you're seeing at the front end, but just as exciting, and there's 14 cars involved in Class B. In Class C, the Bat Lady is the lady to catch. Number 1 plate for 2014, and looking forward to trying to retain that championship. It's a 2-litre 8 valve, slightly less modified than the Class Bs, but just as exciting, and especially when there's 10 cars in the pack. A little bit of work to do for the marshals. Unfortunately, it looks like it's been a busy day for them, and it's going to be a busy weekend, no doubt about it. It's time to get busy in the cockpits, though, as the field line up for race number 1. Comsol Volkswagen Challenge with a field of 35 cars. Class A going to be getting underway first of all. This is the FSI category, and as they head down there, has anybody got what it takes to beat out James Hurley? He already took a double victory at Midval early on in the season at round 1 of this championship. Now, as an official part of the Extreme Festival, he does the same thing and heads into turn number 2, Renexcon corner, in first place. The rest of the field spreading out and starting to make their way through. You can see in the background, Derek Smallberger gets out of shape in the Beetle. Lyle Ramsey is on board here as we head down with the Class Bs. On his outside should be Darren Nathan, and it is Darren Nathan, but sneaking through, looking for a way early on is Ryan Tholey. Tholey's got a good start and goes to second place, keeping Lyle Ramsey behind, and Gerard Henning, the Batman in the background there, our reigning champion, and his Bat Lady is at the front end of Class C as they get the drop off the line and down towards turn number 1. But it's the Incredible Polo who's at the front there from the word go. And it looks like it's going to be a tough battle in Class C, A and B here today. We'll try and keep up with all the action as they head down into turn 2. As I said, it's Wayne Krause who gets a big tap as, the Bat Lady locked up under braking. Oh, action already. It's Batman versus the Hulk there. Who's going to win things out? The Hulk, unfortunately, is smashed and is on the sideline. So that's not really going to start the race day. That is for sure. But I think all that was there was cold brakes, cold tires into turn number 2. The Bat Lady, Elke van Vleuten, hit the brakes and unfortunately cost Wayne Krause properly into turn number 2. On board here, there you can see it, replay. Little bit of locking up of the brakes, had nowhere to go. Krause turned in where he would normally do, and unfortunately the X35 car is now parked on the sideline. Hopefully can get going again. And Elke's not finished yet. She is battling with those tyres to get the heat into them and is spinning out at Castrol Edge corner. Darren Nathan needs things out. His stablemate from Nathan's Motorsport in second place here. So it's Sex Trader versus the Pren Properties machine as they come out, and wow, look at that. Tholey is hanging on for now and onto the back end, but he's doing a great tail gunner roll there and keeping the rest of the field at bay. It's Lyle Ramsey and Gerard Henning fighting out for 3rd and 4th place. Andre Needham just behind them, and Tyrell Govindasamy not too far off that. Class A goes through. It's still Hurley, Atkinson, Baldy Mikey's fighting out. Etienne Princely, the Sasfin car there. He's in 4th place, and a couple of cars running wide. Baldy Mikey's was one of them. Piet Versaki was another. Steve Hurley coming up on the inside. He's in fact taken over Herbie from Smallberger. Forgot to mention that earlier on. Now on the braking markers, look at this. Absolutely awesome stuff as Baldy Mikey's tries to squeeze out the Comsol car. He is in some serious battle here, that is for sure. And it's Stevenson and Atkinson looking for a way through. Atkinson, the first of those Comsol Help Racing polos, and the Masters Performance man really having his work cut out for him. 3rd place battles where it's at the moment for Class B. Lyle Ramsey trying to get away from Gerard Henning. At the front end of Class C, it looks like it's all in the hands now of the 1st place man there, Yannick van Rooyen. Then it's Frans van Zyl, and this little battle starting to rage. Zander Roos looking for his first opportunity of getting onto a podium and fighting things out there with Philip Cruiser, Barry Harrison, and Sean Krause, the second of those X35 energy drink Golfs. Front end of B, going into turn 2, Nathan and Tholey basically flying the formation flag at the front end there. Peter Thompson a bit further back there in the Class Bs, unfortunately not able to run at the same kind of pace as the Polos at the front end, but the 2 Golf 2s that are involved in Class B still in the mix. One of them, of course, is Thompson's, the other one is Gossman, and they are really at each other's throats. As we see right here, look at how things are getting real as the Class A cars start to come in amongst the traffic. And Hurley just making his way through the traffic nicely. Here comes the battle for second place in Class B's. Tholey trying to keep out Ramsey. Ramsey's going to have to get pretty physical. He's done it in the past. Ryan Tholey's not going to let that happen though. As they come into Goldwagen corner, once again, it is James Hurley. Hasn't found a way past Sean Krause just yet, but this time goes on the inside. Yes, finds a way this time out. and Philip Cruiser. Oh, it's getting real touchy stuff as always. My heart is in my mouth, especially when this starts to happen. Oh, at the late stages, we've got a big crash. Getting out of shape. Well done, Etienne Prinsloo. How did you miss that car spinning in front of you? We've got two Golf 1s on the sideline there. One is Cruiser. You can see he tried to avoid the action in front of him, came off the loud pedal, which, of course, in a front-wheel drive means that you're going to get out of shape. Look at how Prinsloo tries to sneak between the two of them. Unfortunately, tags the car on the outside, and 3 cars are now parked on the inside of turn number 1. Could possibly mean a safety car. We'll have to wait and see now as they head up towards the top of the hill. This is the back end of Class B. Things now are probably, yes indeed, there you go. Safety car board is out and yellow flags waving. So Pretoria No Toyota will be brought into action. And it looks like for the first time in history, a Toyota is going to win out the Volkswagen Challenge as we end the race under safety car conditions. Checkered flag comes out. James Hurley will take the victory. Second place, Rory Atkinson. Voldy Mikey's in third. Ian Stevenson and Steve Hurley make up the top 5 in Class A. Just making his way into the top 10 and 9th place overall is Class B's winner, Darren Nathan, ahead of his stablemate, Ryan Thalay. Battle of Marvel Comics out there, hey? Bat Lady taking on the Hulk.
Quite something, yeah. Shame, I feel, I said to Wayne, I'm very sorry, through turn 1, on the Achilles, they take a while to heat up and you outbrake yourself so easy. And he gave me space through turn 1 and I took it and I just couldn't brake hard enough and I slammed him really hard on the right rear. And then as we went around, someone lost it through turn 4, so that's where I lost it again. And then another incident with other Class C cars and a Class A car, I believe. So a serious battle with some.
Looking forward to more serious battles now in race number 2. Got to get things all sorted out now for the Comsol Volkswagen Challenge here at Zwartkops. It's the Hankook Extreme Festival, round number 1, and it's Hurley who gets the drop, but his Voldy Mike is going to squeeze him out for turn number 1. No, he's not. Main squeeze, unfortunately, just couldn't get around the outside of James Hurley, and Harry Potter once again shows the magic that's required. The starter pack car leads things out into turn 2. The rest of the field start to sort themselves out, and a couple of rally cars on the last one. Are we going to see more of the same? Darren Nathan having to come from 4th place on the grid this time as they go down into turn number 1. He has got, and he gets bumped right from the word go. Can you believe that? Action already into turn number 1, and Nathan is going to go to the back of the field. He has got some serious work to do now to come through that Class B field. On board now as we head down into turn number 1 with the incredible Polo. Wayne Krause has got that all sorted out. But Francois Van Zyl is also in the hunt, and 2 Golf 1s lead the Polo into turn 1. Back to the front end, 1, 2 and 3 getting away from the rest of the field. Atkinson trying to make up for lost ground, and maybe he can beat out what is possibly second place here, Voldy Mikey's in the Performance Masters car. None of them seem to have an answer just yet to Harry Potter at the front end, James Hurley. And the starter pack car getting away, as is Tholay. Tholay wants to get a little bit of a drop now on Henning and possibly on Lyle Ramsey. In Class C, though, it's getting real. Zander Roos is in the thick of it. And Wayne Krause is looking for a way past him. Onto the brakes, and nearly a little tap there between the two of them, but fortunately he was wily about it and saw it coming. This is the viewpoint. Gerard Henning just giving a little tap there to Darren Nathan, forces him onto the dirt, into the kitty litter. Darren keeps it buried, and very similar to what we saw from his brother at the National Championship, had to go around the outside on the dirty stuff to get back on track. Now, will Darren be able to get through the field? Let's keep an eye on his progress in Class B. Class A, things always very, very quick and always exciting as Etienne Prinsloo goes on the hunt with Ian Stevenson. This is the battle for first place in Class B, and Ramsey's around the outside. Around the outside of Castle Edge Corner, takes some big ones, and I tell you something, if he hangs on to that, he should be able to do the outbraking maneuver, but look in the mirror, and you can see him looking across to the right-hand side. Tholay hasn't gone just yet. Tholay's still there. He's on the inside and forces Ramsey a little bit wider than what he'd like to have gone through turn 5, that's for sure. Behind them, it's Needham. Needham also looking just as dangerous, and if something goes wrong between these two Polos, that Golf is going to sneak in for a possible win here in Class B. But it's not done yet, that is for sure. Tholay and Ramsey are side by side down to Goldwagen Corner, as is Van Vletter trying to close down onto the back end. He looks like he's going to try and get 3rd place away from Needham. A new man into Class B's lead as Ramsey hits the front for the first time. The Bat Lady leads out Class C, so a good recovery considering her first outing wasn't so good. A couple of spins there as we heard from her in the interview. And Zander Roos now moves up to 2nd place, forces Van Zyl onto the grass. And if that's taking it into account, Zander Roos now moves into 2nd place and a possible overall victory for the young man too. On board here with Pete Potgieter, he's just loving life. Comes out of motorcycle racing, climbed into a polo, and has decided polo racing is the way to go. loves being involved in the thick of the action. Speaking of the thick of the action, that's Class B, and look how tight it's got. The Batman has joined the back end of Needham, who is now, and on the outside, C14 has gone missing. That is going to be pretty dangerous stuff. I think that was Simon Levine that has parked it on the sideline there, so he is out of race number 2. Fortunately not in a dangerous position, and I think the marshals will be able to get him out the way. Come up on the inside, checkered flag there for Hurley as he goes past what is going to be an overall victory there for Zander Ruiz. Well done to that young man. He's only second in Class C's, but Class B is going to go to Ramsey. He managed to get to the front end and eventually found a way to get away from Ryan Thole, who'll come through for second place. Class C honours, going to go to the Bat Lady. Awesome job there from her, and a great recovery, as I said, after race 1's incidents. Confirmation of the results, though. Top 5 are all Class A. It's James Hurley from Valdi Monkeys, Piet Versaghi, Ian Stevenson, and Etienne Prinsloo. Then it was Class A in 6th place with Steve Hurley, 7th place Ian Prinsloo Robertson in 8th. Lyle Ramsey wins out Class B's and 9th overall. Wow, Harry Potter, the magic just continues in this car, but it looks like it's on rails at every circuit we go to.
Yeah, look, in qualifying, I didn't get the setup quite perfect. I was planning on going a lot quicker. I just managed to get it, and then in the first race, Valdi actually pipped me the fastest lap. So I had to start second in the group.
This is something you've been working hard for, and eventually it came right.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan kept me honest the whole race. It was very hard to pass him. Once I got through, turn the mirror away, and just go forward,
Speaking of going forward, make sure you put this date in your diary. 26th of April at the Pakisa Freeway for round 2 of the Extreme Festival.